Testing, testing, testing. I want to see what the sound sounds like. Per usual, you haven't seen me in a while. I've been shooting photos, that's all I can really say. But basically, I wanted to make a video showing you guys 3 different photo books that I've used over the past year to help influence my work more in a stylistic and process way rather than strictly technique. A lot of people like to focus on lighting or composition, which I will talk about with these books, but it's more just trying to emulate a style of these photographers or trying to learn from their style in terms of like why they're doing these things and how I can build that into my own style, if that makes sense. Anyway, so this is the 3 photo books that I would recommend you guys buying this year if you want to grow stylistically. The first book is a book by Guy Bourdon, the famous fashion photographer. It's called Polaroids. It's probably one of his most popular photo books, and there's good reason why. Just the way that he sets his subjects in the composition as a whole is really impressive, and it plays a lot into filmmaking and making scenes and making a story out of your photos rather than just a pretty composition. The lighting techniques that he uses with Polaroids are incredibly impressive. I honestly don't even know how he got some of these photos. I think he was using Polaroid land cameras. So I'm wondering how I can recreate these. If you guys know how to get such clean Polaroids as this book, please comment that down below. Because I've been searching for so long, and it's not SX70 film, it's not 600, it's not I-type, it's not even like the Fuji 100C or whatever it is that you use with the land cameras. I don't know what it is. I don't even know if they make it anymore. It might be the Polaroid 100 land camera film that's actually from Polaroid, but I think that's discontinued, so I'd have to, you know, sell my spleen to get it or something. They're very emotional, they're very dark, and he references, I think, his mom a lot in this. I watched a documentary on YouTube where they said he was obsessed with his mom's heels when he was little, and you can definitely tell that in this book as there's a bunch of heels in it, and I really enjoy those, actually. I think his weird undertones and the uncanny positions he puts models in are really interesting and worth a look at. I gotta keep checking if this thing is recording. All right, so that's the first book. The second book is a book by an artist, Eric Oglander. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's called Mirrors, and it's actually not a photo book of photos or images that he took. It's of photos that he found on Craigslist from the years, I think, 2013 to 2015. And this book was really inspirational for me just in terms of changing your idea and concept of how to make a photo book or how to do photography in general. Maybe you don't have access to the models or settings or locations or whatever. If that's the case, you can now go online, find them and Photoshop them. And I think he Photoshopped the people in the photos. In a lot of them, it has some text in it that says the person has been removed or whatever. But I'm pretty sure most of these images are just from people on Craigslist trying to sell their mirrors. And for some reason, the compositions are incredible. Like, there's so much symmetry and the colors are insane. The look into people's lives is really interesting. I can't figure out where he found these images on Craigslist. I don't know what forum or like thread he was on. I would say this book really just taught me that you can make a photo book out of anything, and the best photographer is someone who sees the best image, whether that be through the viewfinder or I guess through Craigslist. But yeah, I would highly suggest getting this book. I'm not sure how many were made. If you want to check him out, I'll link his Instagram down below. All right, so for the last book, it is a photo book of work done by Alberto Garcia-Alix, who was an outlaw Spanish photographer. And the book is called Lo que dura un beso, which I think is the thing that lasts is a kiss or something like that. It's actually a compilation of Alberto's images by someone else, and it includes an introduction by Bridget Ollier. And the images in this book are absolutely incredible. It's a bit grotesque, I will say, and warn you. You're gonna see some female and male parts. I think the way that he can really put the viewer in the moment of taking the image is incredible and probably one of the best photographers in like a journalistic or documentative sense that I've ever seen. The compositions are not only instant and surprising, but beautiful in themselves. This book really influenced me in terms of my own photographic style by trying to be as present as Alberto is in his photography. I think a lot of times when photographers go out to shoot, there's like this separation between you and the subject because of the camera. And I feel like he's one of those people like Daniel Arnold or whatever from New York who sees the photo and just lifts their camera, takes it and puts it back down. It's one of those organic processes that I have been trying to figure out my whole life and is the reason why I carry the Contax with me all the time. I will take a photo of you when you're least expecting it because I want this like organic, natural thing and I want you to not be trying to do anything. I just want to capture life as it is, which I think is really hard these days because everyone's on for Instagram and everyone's on in the sense of they want to look good in photographs. But the most impressive thing is when a photographer can take a photo of someone without them knowing and they're not ready for, but it's still a beautiful composition and it still portrays them in a good light. There's also this image in here which looks like it was done, it's an image of a girl with some jewelry and she's posing in a kind of interesting way. And it looks like it was done in someone's bedroom with one light and like a cloth painter's backdrop. This has influenced me, and I've always kind of been like this, but it's influenced me to even think about how to use more normal objects and settings to create images, because those types of things are timeless. Yes, this photo looks nostalgic, but at the same time, you could have taken this photo this year and no one would be able to tell the difference, and I think there's some beauty in that. Alberto also includes a lot of people doing drugs in his images, and there's this one specifically that looks so euphoric. I think Alberto's obsession with photographing people who weren't models, weren't high fashion at all, I think it's a great motif for how I want to do my work in the future and how I've been doing my work. They're not thinking about their fans or anything along those lines. It's just you and the camera. They're not thinking about where this image is going or how it's going to be used. I would highly suggest getting this book to improve your composition and how to take photos of different subject matter. His photos are so diverse in terms of like what he's photographing. Sometimes it's people, sometimes it's objects, sometimes it's feelings and hands, and this whole book is just really, really impressive. And that's it. Those are the 3 books that I would highly suggest you guys should get this year. I'm actually making a photo book this year, so if you guys have any other books that I should be checking out in order to, influence my style or my process on making that photo book, please share them down below in the comments. I'll definitely check them out. And I do have the full review of the Canon 7NE coming. I've just been shooting with it and trying to test out more features before giving you guys a full review. More videos to come soon. Thanks for watching.